Okay, so today I'm going to be just running through the Fizz question on LeetCode, the easy version. So if we look at this question here, you'll see that what they want is that they're going to give you an integer n, and we need to return a string array, where for every number that is, well, that will fulfill these conditions here. So if it's divisible by both 3 and 5, then we want to print fizzbuzz in that part of the in that index of the string. If it's fizz, then we want to do, if it's divisible by 3, we want to do fizz. If it's divisible by 5, we want to do buzz. So the divisibility by 3 and 5 would be exclusive to each of those numbers, and not if they aren't, then it will satisfy this first condition here. So if we just look at the examples here, we'll see, so n is equal to 3, so we iterate and we create strings from 1 to 3, and then we see that in the position where there's 3, there's fizz. Similarly, for n equal 5, we have 5 in this string here from 1 to 5, and we'll see 3 is fizz, 5 is buzz, which follows what they gave us above. And in this one here, where n is 15, we have 1 through 15 with all of them divisible by 3 as fizz, all of them divisible by 5 as buzz, and where they're both divisible by 3 and 5, fizz buzz. So as we said here, since we know that these two conditions here at the bottom are mutually exclusive, as in if they were to both happen at the same time, actually are they mutually, I'm not entirely sure, but they can't happen at the same time, otherwise it will fall under this condition. So because of that, we want to kind of get this first condition out of the way. Otherwise, if we do either one of these first, where we divide by 3 or then by 5, we risk overwriting it. So for example, if we have the 3 first or the 5 first, then it could get overwritten. So yeah, so just to start off, we're gonna have our resulting array here. For this one here, because we want to start at 1 in the range, we're going to specify, so this range function actually takes a couple things. So it could take the start, the end. You could also put in the how much you want to increment or decrement by, but in this case, when you don't specify it, it'll just go by 1. So for this here, we're just going to start off. So for in the range of the passed in value, in this case, which would be n, so if n was 3, this would be going from 1 to 3, inclusive of the 3, since we added the 1. So I mod 3 equals 0, and I mod 5 equals 0. So this is basically just going to check and see if it's divisible by both 3 and 5. Then we'll just append this to the string. And then we have this else if here, which will prevent it from being overwritten, because if we were to just put if divisible, so if we just had like a line here that was instead if I mod 3 equal to 0, then since this above condition here is already satisfied, then it would go right into this, because this is also true, and it would overwrite our answer. So we just want to keep it like this here, so we have these else ifs, so that we could specify individually 3 and 5. So yeah, because these don't have the and, they will only enter if it's either or, but not both of them. And then if it's not divisible, if it doesn't satisfy any of these conditions, then we just attach the string version of I, and for that we'll just use the string function, which would convert it to a string, the value that we're currently on. And then once we do that, we just want to return the result, and that should append all of the values, including the ones that is specified. So if you just submit this, so we see we pass all the test cases, and does okay for everything. So in terms of the range, we know that this will be of time n, big O of n, because we know that it's gonna have to go through it's gonna have to go through, this for loop is basically gonna run n times, since we have n values and we will need to specify it. So yeah, in terms of space as well, the array will always be of length n, as well, since that's what we are looking for. So yeah, thank you. Well, yeah, I think that should be it.